Good Sunday morning to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at a broad swath of very active weather pattern. Some high latitude blocking continues and forces the jet stream and storm systems to just chug along through the Pacific into the North American continent and then exiting out into the Atlantic. For this VELCO weather hazards outlook, we have some pretty active weather ahead here. After a breather the rest of today, Sunday, and into Monday, two main storm systems will work through with generally low utility impacts but need monitoring. The next one comes in on Tuesday with a classic southeasterly gradient wind gust, and also that'll include some minor glazing of wet snow and some freezing rain possibility. Most of this is going to be elevated in the terrain. It does not look like the kind of system that we just saw. And a slightly more rainier system will move in. It looks like late Thursday into Friday, mainly front-loaded. Impacts look also fairly low, but classic gradient wind gusts along the western slopes of the Green Mountains to be included once again. So it's a bam-bam. And active weather appears quieter next week, but with a series of April showers. Both of these will be something we'll need to monitor, and it looks like the gradient wind gusts will be the highlight at this point in time. We have also decent project weather again the rest of today, Sunday, into tomorrow, Monday, and decent dry conditions at that point in time. Watching those gradient wind gusts potentially on Tuesday afternoon into the early evening hours. There'll be a southeasterly wind and the typical downsloping areas along a narrow span of the Green Mountains. So looking at the 6-hourly panels here, we can see where we are now with ridging of higher pressure that extends a kind of almost full latitude all the way down from here right up through, and providing us with some decent sunny weather here for basically most of Sunday and much of Monday. Here comes our next storm system. It looks very much like the last one. Warmer air moves in and less issues with snow. However, some thunderstorm activity on the southern flank and the warm sector. Looks like some of that's going to get into southern New England, areas around New York City. This would be valid again about Tuesday morning. The system continues to chug on through. A little bit of a break in the action. Looks like on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then we're back into the next weather system. Look at the thunderstorm activity potential here across an area of Pennsylvania into southern New England and creeping into southern parts of Vermont. Just to run that back again. So we're going to include some thunderstorm possibilities in this on the front-loaded side. This is Thursday night into the first part of Friday. And then on the backside, the system does weaken. That's the good news, but we'll probably see a little more wet snow accumulation. Right now it looks like 2 to 4 inches, not a big deal, and not a utility impact. After that, we have other weather systems that work in. Notice the red lines here. That means warm enough for rain. And thankfully, these look just like April showers next week. Hopefully they do not evolve into anything major here. But it is that time of the year we have to watch for thunderstorms. So another couple nice days here up through, it looks like really Tuesday morning, late overnight, Monday night, Tuesday morning. Rain moves on in, but notice that temperatures are just cold enough that we're going to see mainly a travel issue here with mixed precipitation types. As we warm back up later in the evening, it's kind of a mix here east of the Green Mountains. Western area is not a big deal. A little bit of a break in the action, and here comes a much more rainier weather system. Once again, it's going to be cold enough aloft in the elevated areas to see a little bit of a mix. This is a little heftier in terms of precipitation, but note that the snow stays to the north of our region. That's kind of nice, and it's mainly just rain showers. This is valid Saturday, and we'll take you through kind of just April rain showers mixed with a little bit of wet snow shower activity for the late part of the weekend. So overall, a couple things to watch here, and let's take a look at gradient wind. Okay, this will be valid on Tuesday morning, and then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Starting to see these yellows here, and these are some pretty strong wind gusts here. This is in knots. So some localized downsloping winds along the spine of the Green Mountains, western slopes. Doesn't look like it really extends that much into the Champlain Valley, but right at the base of the mountains. And that moves on out. Winds a lot less calmer. And then here comes the next system. This would be valid the Thursday night. This is roughly about 8 o'clock in the evening, Thursday night. And you can see it's a little healthier, but more distributed down toward portions of southern Vermont. And then the low goes on by. It doesn't appear to be deepening. That's the good news. So the winds on the backside of this system look a lot lighter. Looking at the GFS ensemble, you can see that this next weather system here is mostly all rain, for Burlington anyway. A couple strands or whiskers of snow. And then we have the next system coming in. And the GFS and the European model are fairly good agreement. Both of these will have some gusty southeasterly gradient winds. GFS ensemble temperature forecast. Nothing have any great shakes. We don't have any extra cold weather, not anything extra warm, kind of in the middle, fairly close to seasonal. In terms of precipitation types, determined by the 0 degree centigrade temperature, approximately the top of Mount Mansfield is a good rule. This would be all rain, this would be snow, and this would be snow. Kind of gives you an idea. We're into a little bit more April showers, thankfully. So yes, it's a very wet pattern. This is the 7-day QPF totals from the Weather Prediction Center, and this is valid through 12Z on Sunday. So what we can see here is 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inches, and so forth. Pretty good swath of precip out here. Let's check temperature. So weighted temperature is a little bit of anomalous cold that's leaving our region, a little bit of anomalous warmth that's coming in. We're kind of neutral. What about 3 days later? Looks like we're neutral. They both kind of cancel each other out. And the overall trend for the first 15 days of April is anomalously cold and anomalously stormy. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.